subscribe if y'all want to, or if y'all enjoy the video at any point in time. I'm working on how I record. I'm just naturally a down person, so yeah. As Naruto, Iris, and Kakashi are leaving the Hokage building, Kakashi tells Naruto that they should have at least heard the training regimen so that way they would at least know how to get Gaara and him stronger. And Naruto looks at Kakashi and tells him that he's probably the strongest person in his village as of right now. Do you really think that any training regimen will be able to help me? And Kakashi was like, it was worth giving it a shot. I mean, you don't necessarily know what they're going to try to teach you. And Naruto tells him again, like, I'm once again the strongest person here. And Iris gets irritated and tells Naruto that maybe he should stop comparing himself power-wise to everybody and start comparing himself to more realistic standards. And Naruto looks at her and was like, what do you mean by that? And she tells Naruto that the only way he sees people is by power and how much chakra you have and what your status is. And Naruto looks around like, ain't this whole world based off that? And Naruto like looks at her and is like, are you sure you want to continue this? Like this whole argument? Because this isn't something that's going to end good in your favor. And Iris tells Naruto that he's so emotionally damaged that he can't even perceive the fact that he's still in the wrong. And Naruto was like, how am I in the wrong? Everything of mine was taken away. Just like you. If anything, I would have assumed you would have understood. Didn't I rescue you from the people that were going to, do God knows what? And she tells Naruto that she is, and she's grateful for that, but she can't just sit here and listen to him belittle the friends that stuck by him this entire time. And Naruto gets he gets even more upset than what he already was. And at this point, they've already amassed a group of people. So Naruto tells her that everyone that has been in this village that just recently started supporting him or have been going along, just down the line supporting him, has done something to him in his life to screw him over. So anybody that is in this village, he does not have to treat with the respect that she thinks they need him, that she wants him to. And now she's kind of freezing up because Naruto's never really talked to her like he talks to everybody else, because Naruto has always seen Iris as more like a daughter to him. But after Naruto finished saying that, he looks at Iris and was like, you know what? If you're gonna keep questioning me, the guy that saved you, we shouldn't. I don't want you in my group. And she gasped, and Kakashi tells Naruto to wait a minute. And Naruto was like, no, you wait a minute. Because I'm not gonna have the person that I saved and raised from damn near a child talk to me like I'm in the wrong when she has no idea what this village has done to me. Yeah, she's heard stories, but she didn't see it. She didn't see when you and Hinata and everyone else that came from the Leaf Village was blatantly ignoring the fact that I needed your help in the first place before I became the way that I am, when I was still that happy-go-lucky kid. But hey, and then he looks back at Iris and he tells her, but hey, at least now you won't have to worry about me being respectful to people, because then you won't be around me. And Naruto body flickers away And Iris is just stuck. Like, she didn't know how to feel because she didn't think that this was how this argument was going to turn out. And Kakashi walks up to her and tells her that Naruto eventually is going to come around. He's just upset that he had to stay in the Leaf Village and listen to how good they were treating the Five Tails and not the Nine Tails. And Iris tells, like, Kakashi that she should have just stayed in her lane. Like, if she would have just stayed quiet and done like nothing, like she normally does, none of this would have happened. And we skip over to Naruto, and Naruto is like just in the middle of like this wide open field, and like he's just standing there, and then all of a sudden, like the ground around him like shatters like into like a crater. And like around where the crater is, there was like a small amount of like chakra, like Nine Tails energy, like just emanating from around the crater. And Naruto was like, is this how you do it? And the Nine Tails tells him that, yeah, that's basically it. You just have to keep charging his chakra. And Naruto was like, I don't understand how this is supposed to make me stronger if I'm just charging your chakra for you. And the Nine Tails was like, just give it a moment or two. And as Naruto's charging it, Naruto's like entire body just shuts down. Like, he's still conscious, he just can't move. And since he was stuck, like, he can't move from that one spot. So since he's stuck in that stance, he's still charging the Nine Tails chakra. And the Nine Tails tells him that this might take a minute, and that he should have brought people along with him to protect him, because now he can't move unless the Nine Tails himself takes over. And Naruto was like, why would I let you take over for me if I can do it myself? Like, if I'm doing it now. And the Nine Tails is like, you don't think that's going to attract any unwanted attention? You're a tailed beast out in the middle of nowhere, charging up tailed beast chakra. You don't think that that's going to alarm anyone? And Naruto's like, no, I don't think it will. Like you said, we're in the middle of nowhere. And as like Naruto's just standing there, staring back into the woods that he can't move, so he's just staring into the woods, talking to the Nine Tails. And like from the woods, he sees Iris. And since he can't move, he can only talk. He asks her, what is she doing here? And she just sits next to the tree, like right outside the woods. She just sits next to the tree. And Naruto tells her that she needs to leave because he doesn't want to see her at all anymore. And Iris tells him, like, she whispers underneath her breath that he doesn't mean that, and that this is someone else. At this point, she's convinced herself that this is someone else speaking for Naruto. So she's sitting there, and like by like sundown, like around noon-ish, like she gets up and she starts walking toward Naruto. And Naruto keeps telling her to get back. This thing that he's doing isn't safe, and she's not supposed to be here anyway because she's no longer a part of Naruto's group. And she tells Naruto that maybe she should be a part of his group again. And he, like, getting frustrated even more, asks her why, because he can't move. He's not like he can do anything. So she starts walking into the crater, and immediately when she gets inside of the crater, just the wind pressure in the crater alone is tearing, like cutting her skin, ripping clothing, stuff like that. And she's walking through it, and Naruto's telling her to get back. Because although Naruto does not want to be around her, since he did raise her, he still views her as his daughter, basically. He doesn't want to see anyone that he used to call his friend, unless they really did something wrong, hurt. So he's telling her to back up. And at this point in time, Naruto has had like, some slight, some few tears, because looks like she's in pain walking through like the little wind and stuff that's like that's cutting her. And she grabs Naruto and she like puts her hand on his, like on the top part of his head, and she's just standing there. And she tells Naruto that even if he don't want her around, she's going to be around whether he likes it or not, because he's the only thing that she has, and she's the only thing that he really has. So they're stuck with each other. And Naruto tells her that since he's not in the mood to argue, because he can't move, he's not finna to entertain this. So he just says fine, and he tells her to get out of the circle. And like as soon as he says fine and get out of the circle, she body flickers outside of the circle. And Naruto gets even angrier, because at this point now she's just grinning. And Naruto asks her what was the point of this, and she was like, oh, nothing. And she vanishes. And Naruto, confused, like he starts like ponder what she could have been doing. Like, why was she here? How did she know he was there? And how was she able to get through the barrier that he put up and the chakra that was just lashing out inside the barrier without dying? Because anything that tried to get in before she came legit damn near died in the process getting to Naruto. So Naruto like is wondering this, and the Nine Tails tells Naruto that they should be worried about something much bigger than that. And Naruto asks the Nine Tails, like, what does he mean by that? And the Nine Tails tells Naruto that she put a seal on his head. And Naruto was like, what does the seal do? And the Nine Tails was like, I can't necessarily see. Like, I don't know right now. We haven't figured that out. But you can definitely feel it. The seal's there. And as the Nine Tails is working to try to, like, take it off, Naruto is still charging the Nine Tails chakra through his body, which eventually attracts the attention of the Stone Village, because he's closer to them than what he anticipated. So out from like another side of the woods that he's surrounded by comes like a whole group of like Anbu/Shinobi coming out the forest from the Stone Village. And Naruto is able to move somewhat now, so he turns around just enough to see them, and he tells them that unless they want problems, they really shouldn't be trying to get too close. And when, like, right after Naruto says that, his movements get restricted even more. And at this point, he asks the Nine Tails, is this his doing? And if so, he can stop charging their chakra now. And the Nine Tails tells Naruto that this isn't him. This is the seal. And the Nine Tails tells Naruto that he's trying, like, he is going to break it in a few. But since the seal activated, Naruto stopped charging chakra, so he's just standing there. So as the Shinobi are moving in to, secure the Nine Tails, like as soon as they're getting ready to put another seal on Naruto to prevent him from accessing the Nine Tails power or moving, basically restraining him, Naruto just like explodes in like his own chakra. So he jumps away, and when all the other Shinobi get back up due to the massive release of chakra that Naruto just had, he begins to like wonder why exactly. Once again, he begins to wonder why exactly she here, and what the hell was like, what was her plan if these guys came right before she left? Like, if they would have got here earlier, what was going to be her plan? Because these guys don't look like no joke, like don't look like a joke. So Naruto, like, thinking about it, he was like, well, at least they're not a joke if they were going against someone that was more worth, like, that was weaker than him. But to him, they're a joke. And he just, like, the one swipe of, like, his hand, he cuts, like, all of them, like, clean in half. And he just, like, he starts walking back off and into the forest. And off into the distance, you can see Iris smiling. And she, like, body flickers back to the camp that Naruto had, like, his little village. And she tells Kakashi that their plan worked. Naruto and the Nine Tails had to accept the fact that that seal was stuck on them, and they embraced it. So the seal broke, and now they're a little bit stronger. And the Nine Tails tells Naruto that they shouldn't really be trying to, like, use this extra bit of power that they just got from the seal, because they don't know what that seal did. And Naruto tells the Nine Tails that relax, because if it wasn't their own power, they wouldn't be using it in the first place. It looks like, to him, the seal didn't do anything but amp his power. And then he gets mad because he realized what Iris did. Iris did the technique that the Leaf Village were going to use on him if he would have said yes and agreed to stay inside of the village to train. So he gets angry on his way back to where he, like, is located, like, to where he lives at. And he asks Hinata, where is Iris? And Hinata tells Naruto that Iris is talking to Kakashi. So Naruto walks into the room with Kakashi and Iris in it, and this is where I'm going to end this part off. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.